What is the most OP build for Sothis in Fire Emblem 3 Hopes? Sothis is a very late game character, and as such she's full of potential. Her damage can get a little out of control at times, due to all the powerful skills she has access to. So allow me to present to you Sublime Savant Sothis. As the name suggests, our class of choice is going to be the Mortal Savant. We haven't seen a lot of this class lately, and this build is the perfect time to bring it back. Our weapon of choice is going to be the Sublime Creator Sword. This sword gives us an ability called Divine Ancestry. This effectively doubles our damage since all of our attacks hit twice. This includes things like combat arts and magic. We also gain a special art since we're running the sword on Sothis called Sublime Heaven. Our accessory is going to be a magic staff. Expert Wizardry is just too strong if you're running any magic-based characters. Our battalion is going to be Resist Cavalry, which as normal isn't a make it or break it decision, so feel free to use something else if you prefer. We're going to run both a combat art and magic this time around. Sublime Heaven is a really strong combat art. This art increases its damage done based on our magic stat. Normally, this is just really strong all on its own, but I'll explain later why this art is much stronger than it's supposed to be. Excalibur may not be the strongest choice for magic, but due to Sothis's unique, you really have no choice but to run Excalibur. Anything else just wouldn't be as good. Now let me explain why. Our unique is called Divine Caprice. Every 300 hits, we create a devastatingly powerful magic sigil imbued with an element. This stacks up to 3 times, and they attack automatically as we do. One cast of Excalibur will give us 3 full stacks almost instantly without the need for holding onto our combo. Our second ability is called Sacrosanct. This ability temporarily nullifies attack damage for a large amount of time after performing perfect guards, perfect dodges, or air recoveries. This ability is another broken ability for Sothis. Although I tend not to use any of these things now since I opt for raw power, this does not make this ability any less broken. Finally, we have Hand of Time, which reduces the damage that we receive by 50% when ordered to guard. Swordfare increases our critical hit rate when equipped with a sword. I heard this ability was broken, but I'm not sure if it's broken if it's a class ability. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. And Axe Buster gives us a 95% damage boost against axes. Now for our abilities. As usual, watch till the end to find out where I got each one. Sword Prowess boosts our damage by 30% while wielding a sword. Darting Blow increases the amount that successful attacks fill the awakening gauge. Wild Abandon greatly increases our damage done while also greatly increasing our damage received. Boost Critical boosts our critical hit chance. Offensive Tactics increases our damage done by 20% as long as our battalion is still active. Big Game Hunter boosts our damage against commanders. And Proficient Wit Strike converts all of our damage to magic damage, which is why our Sublime Heaven ability is so strong. It converts its normal damage from physical to magical, giving us a boost in damage since magic is the superior damage type, and our magic stat is much higher than our strength on Sothis. Plus, the ability itself gets a boost based on our magic, essentially double dipping our magic stat. Soul heals us every time we defeat an enemy commander proportionate to our luck stat. Undaunted greatly increases our damage but makes it so we lose the ability to guard, which I don't really use anyways, so free damage. And finally, we have Burst of Valor, which restores the warrior gauge with each critical hit. This combos really well off of Excalibur since you hit so many times with that spell. Our main stat for the build is Magic. Dex and Speed are secondary and also not really required. As long as we have capped magic, this build will excel. So I recommend you level 100 or so times as a Grimoire and swap to Trickster when you know you're going to hit the cap without the extra growth rate boosts. I tend to make the swap around 100 magic. If for whatever reason you didn't hit the cap for your magic, feel free to use stat boosting items to cap it. The idea behind this build is you use Excalibur to proc our unique and get a full stack of 3. Then we start comboing enemies and throwing in Sublime Heaven to do as much damage as we can while the enemy is stuck in Excalibur. That's really all there is to it. I haven't run into an enemy that could live after that. But if for some reason you fall short, feel free to use things like Warrior Specials and Awakenings. Don't feel like you need to save these, so if you're going against an enemy that's giving you a hard time, throw a Warrior Special on top of them. Now as for where I got each ability, Sword Prowess is from Myrmidon, Thief, and Mercenary. Darting Blow from Pegasus Knight, Wild Abandon from Brigand, Boost Critical from Warlock, Offensive Tactics from Wyvern Rider, Big Game Hunter and Proficient Wit Strike is from Mortal Savant, Soul is from Vulcan Knight, Undaunted from Wyvern Lord, Burst of Valor from Trickster, Sublime Heaven from the Sublime Creator Sword, and Excalibur is from Monk. If you liked today's video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more.